What's up everyone, it's Eternal again with some more raid. Now today, I wasn't really sure what to make a video on, so I figured, well, I need to do clan boss. And yesterday I actually had my personal best of 18.7 million, but that was on the magic boss, so kind of interested to see what I can get today. Now it's on void at the moment, so this is the current team. Tyrell lead, Venus, Arbiter, Whisper, and Apothecary. So it's very much a speed team. Whisper still isn't fully booked, so there's definitely some room for improvement there with the damage. And the gear is not perfect either, so really need to pick up some slightly better jewellery and some slightly nicer 6-star lifesteal stuff. I'm working on that at the moment because we also have the Spider tournament. So let's get into it. So I've got the team pretty fast. I believe Arbiter's at about 250 and then Venus is at just under 230. So as usual, just double checking I've got these debuffs up to get the extra turns. I'll pop the attack down. I probably don't need it yet, but there's no harm. Now for the most part this is going to be a manual team just because Whisper's AI isn't great and she will still, you know, try and go for her extra turn even when the debuffs are not up on the boss, so that really can drop your damage quite significantly. So I like to try and manual her, not always, but like a few turns here and there, just to make sure that she's actually putting out the optimum damage. And there's 2 extra turns there, and this is where the real power can come in when she's getting those extra turns. It just makes such a difference. Trying to get the poisons up. Now, because this is a speed team, I'm not going for, you know, trying to max my survivability out. I'm not trying to go as long as possible. I'm trying to get as much damage as possible in a short frame of time before the boss starts hitting hard. And that's why I've got this double turn meter boost here. Right, I might actually try and apply a HP burn. Got it. Wouldn't normally do that, but try something different. Why not? Now, this isn't anything too special. Obviously, Arbiter and Apothecary, both really nice. You could probably try a Gorgorab instead of the Arbiter. I don't know how that would work. I don't really use Gorgorab, so it's not something I'll be testing myself, but certainly you can sub Draco in for Venus, Whisper. I would actually be looking for a Jareg instead of a Tyrell. I think that would be an upgrade to this team, so I think that would improve the damage. So this team can definitely be improved. So 20 million I think is easily achievable, which is a 2-key nightmare. That's a 2-key nightmare, you know, on Void. Oh, the stun on Whisper. So the only issue I've got here is I don't have a cleanse. So I'm just relying on really fast speed to kind of boost through and just try and get those turns in. So that's a bit of an issue there. But apart from that, the team seems to be doing okay. What I might try and do is change up Whisper's HP so she's not targeted. So if I get a little bit more health on Whisper, I'm going to keep Tyrell's fairly low. Tyrell should be targeted rather than Whisper. I do run the risk of potentially dropping the attack down at some point, but I think for the most part it should be okay. And at some point, somebody's going to drop off and die. Now I need to try and make sure Arbiter's topped off so it's not Arbiter, because otherwise I'm going to end up in a little bit of a situation where I'm losing a lot of potential damage. Like kind of now, I'd be looking at healing Arbiter, because even if Whisper drops off, she can be brought back up, whereas Arbiter doesn't have anyone to revive her, so that's a bit more of an issue. Well, I could probably have gone for a different move there on Tyrell, but that's fine. Okay, so the stun on Tyrell there. The only issue is Whisper doesn't have any built-in healing, so I'm having to rely on the heals from Apothecary and Arbiter, and also the kind of masteries that she's got. So that is the only issue with this, is Whisper's sustain, and I have noticed that being a little bit of an issue, but I think the relentless gear is just so strong that I'd be losing a lot of damage in that trade-off. Okay, so it looks like Tyrell is being targeted when Whisper's topped off, so that's perfect. That's what I'm looking for. And Whisper, when booked, will actually be putting out even more damage. So really need to get that. I need another 4 books, I believe. 5 books if I'm unlucky. I've started to go into her A1, which is not what I want. 2 extra turns. That's what we like to see. So I do have another chance to maybe get... No, didn't get it. That's fine. Stun. I think I want to keep the revive. I think what's going to happen is Whisper's going to die here. Pretty sure. It might be close, but we'll see. So I'll top Arbiter off. Okay. Well, that's fine then. She didn't die. I'll turn me to boost. I was expecting her to die there, so that's why I held off. The damage is so much lower on Void, which is nice, because that would have probably killed Whisper there with the 2 hits. Heal Apothecary here, I think. Seems like a solid move. Okay, getting a lot closer there. But I have to make sure that Arbiter's topped off and stays up. Attack down. Ooh, didn't get it. Okay, a little bit of a heal from Arbiter there. If I don't get a speed boost, well, if I don't get the attack down here, I got it, thankfully. Good, good. So, I'm going to take a risk here and go for a turn meter boost. Okay, it was worth it, it's fine. Keep that attack up, attack down on. Actually heal Whisper here. As you can see, this seems to be doing okay. Now, I'm hoping to get somewhere in the region of 17 to 20 million damage if possible. But I guess we'll just see. I don't know. I'm not sure exactly how it's going to end up. Okay, so I've got to make... hopefully... Oh, it's going to be close. Apothecary might actually get the heal in here. Perfect. On Arbiter. Right. Now, actually got to wait a turn there. So, I'll turn me to boost. She should just get in there and... no heal, unfortunately, though. So there might have been a slight misplay there. I could perhaps have got away with not turn meter boosting. But it's fine. Well, it should be fine. Okay, just get as many turns in as possible. Okay, it's getting a little bit dicey here. Arbiter definitely needs to get the revive in, otherwise this is game over. I think she will, just about here. The revive. Heal and turn me to boost. Perfect. Oh, they're back down again anyway, so not quite perfect. Definitely need to work on that defense there, and that's really going to help. But I'll just run this on auto now, and this is pretty much done. But yeah, not too bad, I don't think. Don't know if... Nah. So let's see how the damage actually went there. So 18.7 was my personal best so far, and see where this landed. 18.2. Okay, so definitely approaching that two key territory. So with the books on Whisper combined with a little bit better gear, this is definitely a 2-key team. This kind of team, you could certainly swap in Draco instead of Venus, and I think that would increase the damage. You could put in a Jareg instead of Tyrell, that would increase the survivability, so that would increase the damage. And then Apothecary and Arbiter can be a little bit tankier. Whisper can actually do a little bit more damage too, particularly with her crit not being 100%, so that's pretty cool. So I'll quickly show where I am stat-wise, just to give you all an idea. So that's Arbiter's current stats, so she's, you know, she can go faster too. Same with Venus. 2-3-1's good, but she can go a little bit faster. Defense can go a little bit higher. But it's mainly Arbiter, Apothecary, and Whisper that I need to... See, that defense on Whisper's quite low, and the crit's only 85%. So by improving that, I've definitely got some room for improvement there. So I can probably get a little bit more on the ring, and yeah, I don't know. I just have to get some better Relentless. So I'm going to go for first place in the Spider tournament to try and pick up some more Relentless gear. Go to Apothecary. Apothecary's got quite a bit of room for improvement here. He's yeah, he's squishy. He's not that fast, and he can just generally be improved here. So I'm just going to get to farming more speed gear. So it's more dragon, more spider, try and get some more relentless gear, and that should hopefully do it. And then obviously if I picked up, like, say, a Jareg instead of a Tyrell, that would improve the team's damage. Little Tyrell here. But yeah, that's the team. Those are the stats. So if you've got anything similar to this, you can definitely do the same. So what I will do is I'll show a few more runs as well. I'll show probably another couple of runs of the clan boss, and then, you know, you can see what you think, and you can adapt this team to kind of your own needs and sub in any champions you've got. I've suggested a couple of changes, but this is the bread and butter of the team, and this is definitely a 2-key team. You just need that really good gear on Nightmare. Okay, so now it's time for round 2, and the boss is on Force. So I think this is going to be a bit tricky. Tyrell and Apothecary are both magic, so this is probably going to hurt a bit. But I suppose we'll find out when we get in. I believe I'm going to hit a lot less on this boss, though. If I'm honest, I just, that's my initial first impression. So 18.2 million is the damage I need to try and beat from earlier on, and 18.7 is the most I've done so far, but that was on magic, and maybe that was a lucky run, you know, with Giant Slayer procs and Whisper procking, you know, things like that. It can all make a difference. So I think this is going to be a bit trickier. Tyrell missing his attack down there already, and the damage is going to be higher too. So yeah, see how this goes. See how it goes. It'll be interesting to see what it's like on Force. I actually think Spirit might be one of the worst, and that's just because of the slow that it applies. So we'll find out. Like, a lot of teams tend to struggle with Spirit the most. Now, I am only one champion off. I just need that Painkeeper, an unkillable team. So when I pick that up, I will probably be doing a video on the unkillable team, just getting the speed right, things like that. Obviously, it's a fairly standard one, 3 Painkeepers, a Rosh card, and I think I'll be running Venus there. So that's something I'll be doing, hopefully, if I get lucky and pull that. But in the meantime, I'll be running this team and just trying to get it to a 2-key kind of that 2-key level. If I could get some really good lifesteal gear, I could perhaps pop Apothecary and Lifesteal and give that a try. But at the moment, it is definitely a gear issue. The goal of this team is to get as much damage in as possible early on before that damage starts ramping up. And I think Whisper's damage will, or should, boost up quite a bit once she gets the cooldown reduction on her A2 and A3. So I'm really excited to see what that will do in terms of damage. You know, if that adds an extra million damage onto her, that's, you know, that's pretty much going to make it a 2-key. Oh, didn't quite make it there. Didn't quite make it. Now, if Arbiter had stayed alive, you know, just a little bit of health there, that would have been a big damage increase, so that's going to really hurt the damage there. So, see what happens. I don't know. I don't know what this is going to be like now. It's game over. So hopefully that was like at least 15, 16 million. Oh, wow. Wow. 13. Wow, that was a big difference there. I guess that double hit makes a huge difference. That was a massive drop in damage there. That was huge. Okay, what I'm going to do is give that another try and see how that goes. Okay, so seeing as that last key went so badly, that was huge. Like, that was a big 13 million. That's like a good 5 million drop in damage, which is, like, I knew there would be a damage drop, but I didn't think it would be that big. So that's kind of a little bit shocking, which means perhaps the team needs changing up for this boss to try and get more damage, because that was not good. So perhaps what I'll do is take Apothecary out, and I will actually stick in Steel Skull. Where is he? Steel Skull. So I might stick a Steel Skull in here and see how that performs instead. Okay, I've managed to throw a little bit of a Steel Skull together, but he's not perfect. He needs these at 16 to boost that defense. Where am I? 3,200, 185 speed, 236 accuracy, and a healthy amount of crit, nothing too high. Let's have a look at his masteries. There's Rockin' War Master, Methodical, and gone for Lasting Gifts and Master Hexer. So, we're going to see what this does. I will see, but Apothecary I think was the weaker link there. So I get the benefit of the increased defense here, but I do lose the speed boost, which could be quite big. I gain an AoE heal for a spot heal, and it's like a trade-off, so Hopefully Arbiter and Steel Skull can heal. And there'll be a few extra poisons, so we'll see if the speed versus the poisons and how that goes. Right, let's get stuck into this. Start off pretty much the same, but it's just going to be missing the speed boost. And instead, we'll be getting that increased defense. Should, hopefully, be worth it. Okay, so at this point, I'm just going to try and get some poisons on there. The damage is pretty low, so I don't really worry too much about the incoming damage there. So what I'll do is probably next round start really worrying about that. For this round, I just want to try and get some poisons on there, get a bit of damage ramped up, and just see how it goes. Okay, so the decreased attack from Tyrell didn't land once or twice, and that's kind of cut the run short there, so that affinity disadvantage really, 14 million, still not good. Still not good. You can see Whisper and Venus's damage dropped a lot. The damage overall didn't go up a whole lot, so it's a little bit disappointing. But Tyrell's damage dropped by, I'd say that was over 1 million compared to what he gets on Void. But also just wasn't landing those debuffs, so not having somebody who could apply, not having maybe a Light Sworn or somebody like that who could apply that fairly consistently, just it's not helping. So fortunately, it's a 3 key, but that was shocking, especially compared to the 18 mil before. Like the affinity makes such a difference, and it really does. Okay, so as you can see, I've just woken up. I ran Clan Boss, and I managed to get myself 20.98 million. So that, if I were to do 2 of those, that is a 2 key. So nothing has changed in the team, nothing has changed in the gear, no more books on Whisper or anything like that. But as you can see, 20.98 in 1 key. So pretty impressed with that, actually. So I'm going to go in and do my next key and see if I can get anything closer. Unfortunately, the boss is on Spirit, so it's not going to happen. It's just not like Spirit. Slows your team down, and there's the double hit as well, so you're taking more damage. And this team doesn't really deal very well with that. So this team seems to perform a lot better on Void, generally. But that's okay. As long as I can get the second hit on Void, get 2 hits on Void, that should be the clan boss. But yeah, so I'm going to dive in and see how this goes. Now, I'm suspecting it won't go as well, so I'm not going to bore you with the whole run or anything like that. And I'll just skip to the end. We'll see where the damage is. Like I said, this is Spirit. Magic seemed to perform pretty well. We saw that Force didn't do very well, and I would expect similar sort of numbers from Spirit, but I guess we'll see. So I'll jump to the end of this, and we'll see how the damage is looking. And we can see there, that was not a great run. I could have actually done a lot more damage. That could have probably been close to 18. Arbiter died off really early. She got focused. And yeah, didn't really misplay. It was just, I got a little bit unlucky there, I think, perhaps. So 15 million damage is not terrible, but it's obviously not enough. So that puts me at, should put me at about 36 million. So if that second key had been, close to 20 million or 19, that would have been enough, but unfortunately in this case it wasn't. But it's really promising because it shows that the 2 key is definitely close. It's not quite there. Like, I got the first key, but the second key isn't quite there, so I need to keep working, get Whisper up a little bit more gear like I've spoken about. But yeah, that's me for today anyway. I hope you've enjoyed this. If you found it useful in any way, love to hear. Drop me a comment, and I'll see you in the next video.